Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your host, Sandeep Pednekar, and you're watching One Universe, the show based on the nonprofit One Universe that fosters positivity through the promotion of love, peace, and harmony. And as you can see today, we have lots of guests. Usually we have only one, but today we have group of people who do something good for our community. They help the homeless. And to talk about this, we'll start with our guest, Francis Walker McNeil, and also the volunteers. So say hi and your names, please.
Hi, my name is Wilshire.
Hi, I'm Will Richardson.
Hello, I'm Edith Somerville Taylor.
Hi, I'm Juanita Edinburgh.
Okay, and I am going to be talking to all. Um, so thank you so much. Please wait and we will talk soon. So, for the benefit of our listeners, please introduce yourself.
Well, I am Frances McNeil. I am a community advocate. I am a mother. I am a grandmother. I'm a product of North Memphis. I graduated from Northside High School.
Hmm.
I went on to the University of Memphis,
Nice.
and I am the founder of Mobile Homeless Ministry.
So, Mobile Homeless Ministries. So, mobile,
We're
tell
mobile.
us, right.
Yeah, we're mobile. We don't have a building, but we go out and we assist the homeless, those that are on the street, those that are in shelters, and we provide clothes, food, as well as shelter referral.
Okay.
Mhm.
And when you do that, you go out on the streets, but you also go to homeless shelters,
Yes.
right?
Mhm.
So, is it mainly that you go to homeless shelters or you actually also go out on the streets and help people?
When I go to the streets, I'm usually by myself. Can someone pass me that right there, uh, real quick? That little bag. So no, that bag right there. Mhm. That bag right there. I'm sorry, but when I go to the streets, what I do is I have a bag with treats in it, and I have some juice and I have some chips. And I try to encourage the volunteers to do the same thing. Keep this in your car because you never know when you will run across someone that is hungry, that is thirsty, and you will have something to give them.
Okay.
Mhm.
And so you provide food for them.
Yes.
You provide clothing also.
Yes.
Okay. And what about the housing needs?
So, because I partner with a lot of shelters, I have a good rapport with the manager. So, I can call a manager at any given time at a shelter and say, hey, I got a family that needs shelter, or I have someone that's sleeping in their car. Can you help them? And they will tell me yes or no.
Okay.
Mhm.
And then who pays for the housing?
Most of the time, MIFA.
MIFA pays.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm.
And other times?
They'll have to pay self pay.
Okay. All
Some
right.
shelters are self pay.
The shelters will pay for it.
Yeah, well, it's self pay where it's for some shelters charge.
Okay.
And some shelters don't charge.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
Yes.
And how long has the Mobile Homeless Ministries been operational?
We've been operating since 2020. It
Okay.
started in the midst of the pandemic when I saw homeless people laid out on the ground, covered, and sometimes I didn't know if they were dead or alive, but I would walk up and I would say, hey, are you under there? Can you hear me? Sometimes they'll stretch their arm out from under the cover and they would say, letting me know that they can hear me, and I would give them, something to eat. At that time, I only had one volunteer, and that was Juanita Edinburgh. We would get our money together. We would buy sausage and biscuits, juice, and we would go to City Hall. We would go to the parks. But I just didn't like how they were being treated during the pandemic. And so that's what I did. I decided I would do something about it.
And just for the benefit of our listeners,
Mhm.
the fact is that there is a need.
Yes.
There are people who satisfy these needs,
Mhm.
but there aren't enough people who satisfy the needs. But
Exactly.
let us start with the need. What is the need of the community for somebody to come and do something good like this? How many people are there out in the streets who are homeless?
Well, in December of last year, it was counted that it was a 46% increase, and it's over 1,000 people that are homeless
How many?
a night. They said like 1,500 a night.
1,500 people homeless out in the
night.
night in the streets of Memphis,
Mhm.
Tennessee.
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
that's a whole lot.
That's a whole lot.
Okay.
Mhm.
And how many organizations do you think are catering to this need?
Not enough, but
Yeah,
not
true. Yeah,
enough,
yeah.
not enough, and yeah, just not enough.
And how many how many housing things have you approached?
During the summer, I got a lot of calls from single moms going through domestic violence, and most of the referrals came from MIFA or Agape, and because I am on their referral list, and I try to find shelter, and sometimes it's very frustrating because I don't like to see a mom and children outside, you know. So if the shelter can't get them in, a lot of times they'll get them a hotel for the weekend.
Hmm.
You know, they'll do that, or they'll get them a hotel for a few days. But
MIFA or Agape?
Hospitality Hub.
Okay.
Sometimes MIFA will get them a hotel as well.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, and where does this funding come from?
I have no idea. I'm assuming the city, maybe government funds, but that's what they usually do. It's a hotel. I've heard from other people say it's a hotel that the homeless go to when there is no place in the for the shelters to house them.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, also the reason I bring it up is
Mhm.
because you also need funding,
Yes, I do.
right?
Mhm.
Which means I would like our listeners to know that if they have in their heart to help
Mhm.
the organization that helps the homeless,
Mhm.
you are a good resource to offer some funding to,
Yes,
right?
we are.
So, for the benefit of your benefit, basically, give us a number they can call.
You can call me at 901-937-9756.
Okay, perfect. An email address.
homelessmealsonwheels@gmail.com.
Thank you. So, guys, remember the phone number and the email address so that you can help the ministries.
Mhm.
How many people in the past 4 years have you been able to help?
I'm thinking maybe over 30.
Over 30.
Mhm.
Okay. And this is just the people on the
I'm
street?
talking about as far as a referral.
Okay.
But I mean, we've helped hundreds of people, with clothes and food, but shelter referral, I would say over 30.
Okay.
But we feed hundreds of people, because every month we're feeding a shelter or two
Every week,
every month.
every month.
We
Okay.
don't miss a month.
Okay.
Every month.
And where do you get your funding from?
We just get together and, get the money together. Sometimes somebody would donate, but if not, I would pay out of my own pocket.
Okay. And how many volunteers do you have?
I probably have over 20. All of them are not here, but because everybody got different schedules. But like I said, I started with one volunteer, and then I went from 1 to 2, and then over 25 now.
Okay. So apart from doing this good work, and I know this is really good that you're doing,
Thank you.
but can you tell what are the good things that you end up accomplishing because you're doing this work?
Well, I can look and say, because I'm here, somebody who was maybe sleeping in their car with their kids are no longer sleeping in the car with their kids. Someone who's going through domestic violence is no longer going through domestic violence. I mean, I can say that. A lot of times we drive up and down the street and we say, I don't see too many people homeless, but they're in the parks, they're in their cars. You don't see it, but they are there. They're
Okay.
there.
So how would you define your impact?
Well, my impact is I'm known for helping. I mean, I get calls almost every day, and they say that somebody said that you can help me find shelter, or somebody said you can help me find food. So I know that my name is out there as far as can help people with shelter
Mm-hmm.
or if they're going through something.
Mm-hmm.
We also do pop-up shops throughout the city. We'll go to South Memphis, North Memphis, and we'll just give out clothes and shoes because sometimes there's a need.
Mm-hmm.
And so we do that as well. But so, yeah.
So I definitely want to thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I want to thank the Lord
Mm-hmm.
that He has sent somebody through you to
Thank
serve
you.
the community, and the need is huge.
Mm-hmm.
1,500 people out on the streets
In
in a
Memphis,
city
in the city.
in the United States of
Mhm,
America, which
mhm.
we consider as the most advanced, the most prosperous country on the face of this planet,
Mm-hmm.
and still we have these problems within, right?
Yes.
So, thank you for doing something
Thank
like
you for
this.
having me.
Of course,
Mhm.
and we appeal to everybody that they can offer a helping hand,
Mm-hmm.
and also from their pockets
Mm-hmm.
and their hearts, and if they would like to volunteer,
Volunteer.
so that would be a big help,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yes.
So thank you so much, and we will have our next guest. Hello guys, now we have Mr. William Richardson, who is a volunteer with the ministries to do good work. But before we get into that, please introduce yourself.
So my name is Will Richardson, a community advocate, much like Ms. McNeil herself, from the high school, Central, here in Memphis, Tennessee. Also went to and attended UT Chattanooga. I left there and went to the Marine Corps and served the country.
Mhm.
And now I'm just a serial entrepreneur who has that true heart to serve the people.
Okay. So about your entrepreneurship, what do you do?
So in entrepreneurship, I own a home health care company that provides care to the elderly and disabled throughout 9 different states. And we also own a cigar and bourbon bar in Harbortown.
Okay, all right. And that one is too much to handle, and you're handling two.
Yeah. I mean, it's to whom much is given, much is required type of mindset.
Amen. And because you have been provided these blessings,
Yes,
you go ahead and volunteer for a wonderful cause.
absolutely. I think it's just a key and important for business owners to not always be on the receiving side of the transaction. More
Mhm.
importantly, being able to give in that opportunity.
They say that the giver is bigger than the receiver.
Absolutely.
And because I truly believe that what you receive when you give is a whole lot more than what you actually give.
Absolutely. I mean, we know that's foundational, and I can attest that that's true. It's important for us to be able to be in a position, and we're blessed to be a blessing. And so, when you have the opportunity to give, that is the opportunity of a lifetime to be a change agent in someone's life.
Good. So you have already explained why you do what you do, but please tell us why did you get associated with this mission?
Well, this mission is true to my heart because Miss McNeil is a good friend of mine, and we're in the same community all the time. And so, as you continue to do the work in the community, you start seeing those familiar faces. The people who aren't there just for a grandstanding opportunity, but they're there when no cameras are there. They're there
Mhm.
when there's no news reporter. Sometimes you're out there by yourself, and I've seen her in all those facets, and so that immediately gave me the notion to gravitate to her when it came to doing the work.
Very nice. So we really want to thank you for the wonderful things that you do, not only doing things for the community through your business,
Yeah.
but doing something for the community that does not necessarily help you financially.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming on. Thank you. Hi, now we are here with Felicia, who also volunteers for the mission. So please introduce yourself.
Yes, my name is Felicia Thomas. I work for Sims Murphy Clinic. I do the insurance reimbursement. I graduated from Millington Central High School. I went over to Concord Community College, where I got my degree to do the insurance reimbursement. And I also attend Golden Gate Cathedral. I am the lead Sunday school teacher there for the children, and that's where I baptize.
It's Beverly, Lady Beverly, right?
Yes.
Beverly Stevens.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So, talk about why you got involved with this mission.
Well, I got involved with this mission because I always had a heart for the homeless. I always cared for the people that were just like me at one time, and trouble came and they become homeless. I have a need for them because I know that they need help. And it takes normal people like us to go that extra mile and reach out to someone else who's less fortunate. And by doing that, it helps me to see that I can do something for somebody else. And it helps them to understand that people out there, they care. They see you and they're willing to help you. And I met Miss Francis. She actually goes to church with us. And I saw how good she were with the children. She came and she taught a lesson and how connected she was with them. And I was like, And I teamed up with her. And together we go out, we help the homeless, we feed them. And through her good mission starting, it enabled me to do the same thing to help.
All right. So, I see that you have the passion
Mhm.
and the heart to do this. We really thank you,
Mhm.
and we also want you to share this video with your family and friends so they can become a part of this and also help in the mission.
Yes, I sure will.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Mhm.
Hi, we have one more volunteer. As you see, there are so many. After the 20 or more volunteers, we have at least four here. So please introduce yourself.
My name is Juanita Edinburgh.
And what do you do, ma'am?
I'm a volunteer at the J.K. Lewis Center and also for the mobile homeless Ministry.
And why do you do that? Why do you volunteer?
I work to help the homeless.
Hmm.
We provide clothes, shoes, food, and anything else that they need.
That is so wonderful. Um, it is very refreshing to see so many volunteers coming and doing good for the community. What do you get when you volunteer? What do you get? What do you receive? Some satisfaction?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. Would you like to tell our listeners why they should volunteer?
I love helping people, and I enjoy doing what I do to help others.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
Right.
All
I
right.
am
Now we have one more volunteer, so please introduce yourself. Yeah.
I'm Edith Somerville Taylor, and I really started um, because of my sister. Let me be honest, you may not know this. My sister was doing a lot of volunteer type work.
Hmm.
She became sick and she kept on, and the family was worried about her.
Hmm.
She's one of those independent people, and she don't want you getting in her business. But my brother and I felt like we just had to step in and see if we could slow her down or help her with whatever. She was at the center on the other side of town from me. So I joined the center so that I could watch her health.
Hmm. Okay.
And while I was there, I met Frances. And Frances is a person with a great big heart. And I found out she was doing a lot of things for other people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a blessed person. I've been blessed for most of my life.
Thank God for that.
When I left home and went to college, I was chosen to get the scholarship. I was valedictorian. And for a long time, I was the only minority
Hmm.
in the different agencies that I worked for. But at each one of those agencies, because I cooperated with them and I learned things,
Mm-hmm.
I moved up and took details in national office, and I was a manager and all of that. Well, when the time came for me, I decided it was time for me to retire. I did so. So I came back home and I did joined organizations in my area,
Okay.
which is more like a social group, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really doing all the things that Juanita was doing and trying to
Mm-hmm.
help people. So I decided that maybe I could do a little bit over there. Ran into Frances and found out she was doing all kinds of things, providing clothes and meals and food and things like that. So I even went to one of the organizations to see the type of work that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And I was amazed at a lot of the things that they do. They take them in, they give them shelter, they feed them. And the last place I think she took me to, they were they took care of individuals,
Mm-hmm.
but they also had areas where families that I didn't even know about, the families could stay together,
Mm.
and they provided for those families until they were able to go out on their own. And it was just something that touched my heart, and I wanted to help with that. So uh, I'm more of a donator. I give
How
my
nice.
time, but I also
Thank you. Thank you for
provide.
doing this. Yeah.
So, but it's all due to Frances because I saw all the things that she was doing while she was working, and she did it with a big heart, and she
Very good.
didn't seem to want anything in return. And you don't see that every day.
Right. And that also goes to show that you have a good heart and a big heart to give to the community and offer a helping hand to someone who's already helping others.
Well, when you get blessed the way I was, then
Yes.
you see when some people said, well, I wouldn't do this and I wouldn't do that
Mm.
when we were working. But I found out the more I found from you, the more work you put on me, the better I became. So it wasn't just a college education that did it all. It was actually being around people. And when I wouldn't do that. You don't have to do that. You're not that great, is what I would hear from some of the others.
Mm.
But I decided I want to know how to do that. So I wasn't an attorney, but I
Nice.
worked with
Mm.
attorneys. I did work for them as well. But I also learned while I was there. So that helped me when I moved up the scale and became an administrator.
Very good.
And I was blessed. So I chose to help others.
Thank you so much.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for coming on our show. Thank you. So, ladies and gentlemen, you saw all the 4 volunteers when we are back with Francis. Francis, now people will see what a wonderful job you're doing. And the job we do for the benefit of the community is never enough,
No.
right?
Mhm.
So, of course, I thank you for you being a wonderful person, giving back to the community, but going over and beyond just giving back. And we call upon everybody else to do the same, give a helping hand, not only by volunteering, but also donating. If you cannot come and join personally, physically,
Mhm.
some dollars go a long way. So, 100 people giving $10
Mhm.
is good, but if you can give 100, that's welcome as well, or even
Right.
thousands. So,
Mhm.
please help. And thank you for coming on our show,
Thank you for having me.
of course.
Mhm.
Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining our show. Until next time, have a wonderful time. And know that when you join our show again, you're going to hear some inspirational, some motivational things that will help you get your heart more purer and in a much better place. Thank you. Bye bye.